Imagine waking up and suddenly the internet is gone. No WhatsApp, no Instagram, no news, no calls. At first, it feels like a technical problem, but then you realize it's not an accident, it's a strategy. Because when people protest, governments don't just control streets, they try to control information. And in Iran, this has now become one of the biggest crises in years. Protests, economic collapse, crackdowns, and above all, a new kind of battlefield. A battlefield you can't see, the internet. So today we ask, what is really happening inside Iran in 2026? Why did protests explode across cities? Why are countries outside Iran reacting so strongly? And why is something like Starlink suddenly becoming part of the story? This is not just a protest. This is a fight over the future. This is NowGeo. Here we explain global conflicts and geopolitics in a simple and clear way. No fake stories, no propaganda, only what is confirmed and what can be logically explained. Today's documentary, Iran Protests 2026. What's really happening? Let's begin. To understand protests, we must understand pressure. In late 2025 and early 2026, Iran faced serious economic stress. Reports say protests erupted after currency collapse, with growing anger over inflation and hardship. And when a currency collapses, everything becomes more expensive. Food, fuel, rent, medicine. For ordinary families, survival becomes harder. And this pressure isn't new. Iran has faced sanctions for years. But now, multiple forces collided at once. Economic pain, political anger, and growing frustration from young people. And then protests exploded across cities, across provinces. But there's another major trigger in 2026. Water. Iran is facing one of the worst drought situations in decades. The Guardian reported days zero fears. Water systems collapsing in major cities, dams extremely low, and water cuts becoming normal life. This is not only climate change. It is also water mismanagement, overuse, groundwater depletion, dam politics, and when water disappears, society becomes unstable because water is not optional, it is life. And in 2026, water has become politics. When protests grow, the government responds. And in Iran, reports describe harsh crackdowns. This brings international pressure. The U.S. announced sanctions on Iranian officials accused of repressing protests. Turkey publicly said it opposes any military intervention in Iran and called for avoiding destabilization. And Reuters reported that opposition groups abroad are divided and lack unified leadership. This shows something important. Iran's crisis is internal, but its consequences are global. Because Iran is not a small country. Iran sits in one of the most sensitive regions on Earth. Then came the blackout. Connectivity restrictions were reported during the protests. Because if the internet is off, protests lose coordination. Videos stop reaching the world. International attention fades. But 2026 is different from past protests. This time, a new technology changes the game. Satellite internet. Starlink. Al Jazeera reported Starlink is helping some Iranians get information out, while Iran also tries to jam signals. So now, the fight isn't only on the streets, it is above the streets, in the sky. So what makes 2026 different? Al Jazeera described an unprecedented convergence of internal and external pressures. Inside Iran, economic pain is intense. Outside Iran, geopolitical tension is rising. And online, the information war has become faster than ever. That combination creates an unstable situation, not only for Iran, but for the region and for global politics. Now we reach the real climax. Most people think protests are only about slogans, but protests are actually about one question: who controls the future? In Iran 2026, the fight is not only people versus government, it is also truth versus censorship, signal versus silence, network versus blackout. And that is the most dangerous part. Because once a nation enters a cycle of economic collapse, water crisis, mass protests, crackdowns, internet warfare, the system becomes fragile. And when systems become fragile, anything can happen. That's why this story is bigger than Iran. Because what we're seeing in 2026 is a preview of future politics, where governments don't only fight with police, they fight with connection, data, and control of visibility. The new battlefield is not just land, it is digital life. So what is really happening in Iran in 2026? The answer is simple. Iran is facing economic pressure, water pressure, political pressure, and protests are the result of that pressure exploding. But this time, the world is watching differently because people have new tools, and governments have new tools too. This is why the Iran protests are not just local news, they are global geopolitics, and they are a warning that in the modern world, the next crisis will not only be about streets, it will also be about signals. This is NowGeo. If you want more documentaries like this, subscribe, because understanding the world is no longer optional.